Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Joel Duggan and we are doing a Friday LEGO Let's Chat. It's been a minute since we've done this. I think the last one we did was the retro radio, but I have a new set. I'm excited because on Amazon Prime Day, I picked up the LEGO Bumblebee set. I think it's been a couple of years since we've done the LEGO Optimus Prime set. But this has been on my radar for a while, and LEGO never goes on sale. But boy, did it go on sale. And I want to thank all the people that have made PayPal donations and that have subscribed over the last couple of months, because I use that money to do things like this and be able to pick up some new LEGO, create some new content. And it is very much because of you all that I get to do this on Fridays, and I love it. I think it's really, really fun, and I could not thank you enough. So there's no one person. There's been multiple people dropping donations over the last couple months, as well as new subs, and I just want to say thanks. And it all counts. It all goes towards more content on the channel. So let's dig in. So as I mentioned, 10338. 950 pieces, so it's not a huge set, but that tracks because you wouldn't want them to be the same size as Optimus Prime. There's not a heck of a lot on the ends of the box, but there are some images on the back where he does transform into a Volkswagen Bug, and even has the spare tire on the back. There's a little plate that comes with it, as well as cool pieces that move around as you transform him. He is 16 centimeters or 6 inches wide and 9 inches tall, or about 24 inches tall, or 24 centimeters tall, excuse me. So we're gonna get in here. I'm glad that LEGO has gone to taping boxes instead of gluing boxes. I much prefer the clean open. Ah, oh, such bright colors. Nice. I say that the retro radio had really good colors too. Oh, they're gonna make me put the sticker. I don't remember if I had to do that for Prime or not. I thought it was pre-printed on Prime. Oh well. So I got about 7 or 8 bags. There's number 1. Oh, 10 looks like. $10 bags and a book. Bumblebee in German means a well? Really? I didn't know that. Yes, Silvery, these Transformers are G1 Transformers from LEGO, and they're meant to mimic the toy. They're not meant to mimic the cartoon or any other video game or movie. Like, they're meant to mimic the Transformers toys from the 80s, which I think is an evil tactic of nostalgia marketing from LEGO, and I am here for it. Like, I am the target audience. I am the target audience. All right, bag 1. Interesting that it's a vertical book. I guess if it's going to be a all robot, I mean. All right. Actually, I have a little bit of. Oh, come on. A brave little bee. When summoned into action, Bumblebee, affectionately known as Bee, is a loyal, courageous, fierce, and agile Autobot known for his impressive combat skills and unwavering dedication to protecting humanity. Since the popular Transformers toy robots were first introduced in 1984, the humbly sized yellow and black character has captured the hearts of audiences of all ages in countless adventures, from comic books and video games to animations and successful movie franchises. Despite his size, Bumblebee embodies an unwavering spirit of heroism, ultimate selflessness, and it was only natural that he would follow LEGO Optimus Prime in our LEGO Transformers series. There's a new one coming out too, Soundwave. They're going into the Decepticons. I'm really curious if LEGO will do a Megatron, because classic Megatron turns into a gun, and I cannot see LEGO making a gun. I can see Starscream as a plane. I mean, obviously they're doing Soundwave, but I don't know how they're going to pull off Megatron. I feel like that's probably a debate. A human's best friend. Bumblebee has a strong connection to Earth and humanity. In fact, some of his best friends are humans. He fiercely protects the humans he loves and his fellow Autobots. In spite of his small stature, this little bot is among the bravest of the Autobots, with a sting that can bring down even the most formidable enemy. Oh, that's right. All the toys used to have, like, stats. So strength is 2, intelligence is 8, speed is 4, endurance is 7, rank is 7, courage is 10, firepower is 1, skill is 7. Optimus Prime could not have asked for a more dedicated friend and ally in the fight against the Decepticons. Smart, brave, and often faster than you think. He is prepared to do whatever it takes to protect humanity. That's fun. From the LEGO design team, Bumblebee is such a lovable character, and we wanted to create a model that not only looks and transforms like him, but also includes a tribute to his long history. In addition to his blue blaster and B-wing jetpack, look for cheeky little details throughout the model, such as the small hidden B element somewhere, and printed decorations and stickers that carry special meaning. The plaque matches the one included in the LEGO Optimus Prime 10302 set, so if you have both sets, they make a fine display together. I do indeed have both sets. Yeah, so you can kind of see the height difference between Prime and B. That's cool. And away we go. Nice. Oh, it's a turquoise one. I have the Bumblebee original Transformer somewhere. His joints are so loose that he doesn't stand up anymore. It's probably something I could figure out how to fix, but... Page 10. For those of you that might be new, because I'm streaming at new time slots this week, and I know there's a number of new people coming in with the Minecraft streams. If you've not seen a LEGO Let's Chat before, we just kind of hang out, chat about whatever, and we also null out the pieces. So something that I was introduced to by Adam Savage of Mythbusters. Immediately thought, I know what I could do with that. Something that he does when he's packing for a trip, and I do it with LEGO because it keeps things organized. I think it looks pretty cool. It makes the build last a little bit longer too. Eclipse, thanks very much, and I appreciate the membership to the Citadel Cafe podcast. I know I sent you a message yesterday, but it's nice to be able to say thank you in person or online, on voice. Coming up on the Citadel Cafe, looks like we're recording next Tuesday. Steven and I went to go see Superman, the James Gunn film, and we're going to be talking about that on the show. I must have moved my table or something. My setup was all janky this morning. That's why I had to check the focus on the camera. Definitely with my normal sort of like work area was off somehow, so I must have moved the table between last LEGO stream and this one. I also had to like re-sign into Apple for the intro music, which was really annoying. I had to sign in and it just kept on making me sign in. And I had to restart iTunes on my PC in order for it to like recognize that I was signed in. But it wasn't giving me any feedback. It wasn't saying like, please restart the app. Just really silly stuff. Is that like a vinyl tablecloth? Yeah, it's what is it? I'm not sure if you can see that. Yeah, it's vinyl. I don't remember exactly what kind of vinyl, but it's originally I had it on another table, and I needed to be able to remove it and replace it because it was like a kitchen table, and so it's a long piece of vinyl, and then there's a couple of dowels that are glued to it on either side, and they do two things. It allowed me to roll it up, but it also they act as a weight, so they keep it flat. But that was on the old table. Now that it's on this table permanently, I actually have my lights. You can't see them, but there's a couple of desk lights there, and they're clamped down, and they've got the vinyl clamped down. But yeah, the table underneath this is a black drafting table, and it's really reflective. So the lights would just bounce right back up into the camera. So I needed to put something matte down on it. I realize it's kind of dusty. I should have. This section is usually okay because this is where I normally work, but already there's a couple of pieces I don't recognize as things we see a lot of. I'm still working on improving the LEGO desk setup. There needs to be some changes to improve the mic position. If they had shotgun mics that were USB, I would set up a shotgun mic, but the only shotgun mics that I've been able to find are XLR, and that means getting a mixer, and a lot more expense than I was planning on putting into this setup. Are we? That's not bad. iTunes is just bad. I shouldn't say iTunes. It's Apple Music. I say iTunes because I'm old school and I keep on forgetting that they changed the name of the app. But Apple Music, I like it on the phone, and I confess I don't use it on the Mac. My Mac Mini is a workstation. I don't really sit and listen to music on it. The only thing I use Apple Music for on my Mac Mini is just putting in the metadata for the podcasts, which arguably you could do with other apps. Must have reviewed a lot of Superman films on the Citadel Cafe by now. You know what? I know we've talked about Man of Steel. because that came out while we were doing the show. But there hasn't been that many Superman films that have come out since the show started. It's a 2011, so we're 14 years old on the show. Most of it, for the early part of those days, it was mostly Game of Thrones and fantasy stuff. I'm trying to remember. I know we've talked about Man of Steel. I know I'd certainly have ranted about Batman v Superman. I feel like those movies, like, I liked Man of Steel. It's not perfect, but I liked it. And that I'm sure gonna talk. But when a movie like Batman v Superman or Justice League comes out and I dislike it so much, it's difficult to do a podcast about it because you just feel so negative. I'm sure it's come up. I'm sure we've probably done it. That's the problem with having done the show for 14 years, is that I just don't remember all the stuff we've covered. The website, the citadelcafe.com, I do a pretty good job on the blog posts of tagging the films and shows that we've talked about. So if you go to the citadelcafe.com and do a search for Superman or Man of Steel or Justice League, that kind of stuff, I'm sure you will find something somewhere, somehow, has been mentioned. I find that the knolling is often like a bit of a fun space challenge. I guess I can fit this in here. And this is where I realize that I have giant hands. Yeah, I don't remember what year Superman Returns came out, but I think that came out before we started the podcast. Does anybody in chat have a favorite Superman film? I think I've been hit emotionally more by the TV shows. Like, I was a big Smallville fan, but that was out and over before we started the podcast. It's a unique looking piece. I do remember from building the Optimus Prime set that there was just a lot of really unique pieces. I have definitely gone about this weird way. There's also a couple of little picks in the vinyl, and every once in a while when I'm laying pieces out, I just can't get them to lay straight, and it's because they're up against some little weird imperfection in the tabletop. Silvery says the original Christopher Reeves. The Nookie says the Man of Steel, but not the sequels. Yeah, I agree with that. I think Man of Steel was fine. I think it was good. I like Henry Cavill and I like what they did with it, but I agree that the subsequent movies were terrible. They were rushed. Eclipse says Man of Steel as well. Apart from the early 80s films, says Dan, Man of Steel wasn't bad. Yeah. I think Superman, the movie, was technically 79, 78. Something like that. Away we go. I always forget to take a picture. I did this last time with the radio too. Hold on. Where's my phone? Silvery says, I feel like my tastes shift with time and events. Right now, I want true heroes, not grim and dark. Yeah, no, that's something that I would agree with too. I think that's something I really liked about the comparison between Captain America from Marvel and at the time what DC was doing with the Snyder series. And I think that's why so many people gravitated towards Marvel and what they were doing, is because it had high stakes, but it was colorful, and Captain America had that Boy Scout vibe that I think they wanted Superman to have. Because I mean, if you'd asked me growing up, like, and still to this day, if you say like, Joel, what's your favorite superhero? I would say Superman. But if you ask me what's my favorite superhero movie, I would say the Captain America portion of the build up to Avengers. Like, even after that, so like, you know, Captain America, Winter Soldier, Avengers, Age of Ultron, Civil War, like that the Captain America storyline through all of that, I think is one of the best superhero stories in a very long time. You know, I haven't even checked to see what we're building. I think this might be one of his feet. when I was a kid, Batman was my favorite, but now he's all a mess. I liked the Batman animated series from Bruce Timm. Actually, I like the Superman animated series from Bruce Timm as well. Justice League was all right, but I really liked. They got Superman right in the cartoon, which I would argue it's probably easier to get Superman right in a cartoon. You remember the Batman cartoon was one of your favorites as well? Yeah. You want a real good throwback? Disney's Gargoyles was also a good cartoon at that time. I heard rumors that they were trying to do a live action, but I mean, I say live action, it would be a couple of humans and CG characters. Sort of like the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles movies or something. That's something I'm surprised that they haven't like leaned into at either. I mean, Marvel did a little bit with the What If series, but I'm surprised that with all the animated stuff that's out there with DC, that they haven't gone big budget CG animated Superman or Batman or something, you know? Like think The Incredibles. Like think about the production budget. Like don't, push out a 1 year direct to streaming classically animated show, but like do a full CG movie, because I think it gives you a lot of control. I mean, I think people still want to see live action stuff, but I think that it would be really cool to see. I mean, Brad Bird aside, I mean, Incredibles is also one of my favorite superhero movies. Our PBS used to air the old Adam West shows at like 5 a.m. on Saturdays, so my Saturday cartoon started early. Wow. Yep. That was before me. That was something my dad watched. That I don't like the camp. When it comes to superhero stuff, I'm not a campy guy. We got a cool Ratchet connection here. I'm wondering if that's like a Technic piece. And that goes here. That's cool. I think from the instructions, it looks like we build Bumblebee as a car first, and then he transforms into a robot. Whereas with Optimus Prime, we built him as a robot. Oh, I missed a step. There we go. And that happens. Then this happens. I do remember liking how technically savvy the Optimus Prime was. So it'll be really cool to see what kind of connections and adjustments that they've made for the Bumblebee set. I do remember saying that something I did not like about the Optimus Prime set was that his knees didn't bend. His shins twisted, but they didn't bend. And I think it's the same with this Bumblebee. Although the toy didn't, neither of the toys had bending knees either. I don't think Optimus Prime had bending knees. I've got that toy around here somewhere too. In a box somewhere. The Arcane-inspired some and might be in the future from its style-wise. That would be cool, Nookie. I would love to watch more stuff in the style of Arcane. Killer of Killers, the Predator series on Disney Plus was really good. Well, series, it's a movie. It's like an anthology movie. That was good. And I hear K-pop Demon Hunters is really good. That's the same animation studio that did Into the Spider-Verse. There's something really cool about the way that LEGO designs vehicles and robots and stuff. Like it really feels machine-like in the way that they set things up. Like the way that they frame, moving parts. I can only imagine the amount of consideration that has to go into a model like this, where it has to look good in two different forms. Like you have to cover your seams and have it look and display correct when it's as a car, but then also when he transforms into a robot, he also has to look the way that you want him to look. Which, I mean, would have been a consideration for designing Transformers toys, too. That just goes all the way in? Maybe that's just for security? I don't know. It's stuff like this. I would love a little explanation. Even if it didn't spoil anything, like I would kind of want to know, this is for transformation stability or something, That. I do have the box in front of me, but I'm trying not to peek. So obviously something is going to attach there. That's cool. I like kind of seeing the future. Trying to figure out and anticipate what they're going to do. Once you've built a number of Lego sets, you start to kind of clue in and like, I see what you're doing. I don't know exactly what's coming, but something is coming. You can kind of anticipate when they're going to do something. And the reveal is always cool. Or often it's cool anyway. a Lego dev kit that details the use case of each piece. I don't know if dev kit is the right word. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. I mean, it wouldn't have to be everything, but like I feel like in some cases they've done that. Like the retro radio had a couple of little things where like this is the exact right length and, you know, size or weight or whatever for this particular situation. So we've used, in this case, we've used a Harry Potter wand and a flipper from a minifig in order to create like the dial on the radio. Like stuff like that was kind of fun. But like I'd just be curious to know, like, outside of like following the instructions like a blind sheep, you know, like what that pin is for, other than I'm guessing some sort of structural stability. My guess is that, you know, it keeps, if you're putting a lot of torque as you're transforming the foot, it probably keeps pieces from falling off or the foot from falling off, maybe. That's a guess, though. I'm not really sure. Aha. So this is the thing that I said was going to go in there. This is something that was very true of the Optimus Transformer as well, is that there was a lot of really cool horizontal connections with panels, with plates. Plates? No. Tiles. Excuse me. And there was a lot of these claw bits too on Prime that was used for connecting panels, or you'd build something on the side and then you'd use these grippy pieces to connect it. The plant sets do something similar, but it's facts about plants. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. We did that. There was I feel like there was facts about TIE Interceptor as well as the X-Wing as we were going through those sets too. Speaking of a new 4x4 arch brick was created for this set. The design accentuates the softer, rounded forms of Bumblebee in both vehicle and robot modes. A total of 8 are included in this set. So that's this. Right. Yeah, I've not seen those before. And this is the kind of piece that like Lego could then use for stuff like Ninjaga or Ninjago, I can't remember. Like the other playsets that they need like more organic stuff like flowers or dragons or monkeys or whatever. I do find that stacking these little plates gets hard with big hands. I mean, if that doesn't look like Lego, I don't know what does, right? Looks like classic Lego. This goes over here. Okay. See what you're putting down. And my guess is that the wheel will cover that up. How does that go on there? I am missing something. Yeah, that really doesn't go on there 100%. Oh, I guess it does. Just really snug. That's the headlight. Looks like it's right foot. It's a lot of pieces left over, Lego. Normally it's 3 or less. I don't think I missed anything. It all looks right. All right, I need to take a short break. When I come back, we will do bag 2, which I'm assuming is going to be his other foot. So it'll be a little bit of deja vu. But yeah, give me 5 or 6 minutes, folks, and I will be right back. All right, bag 2, which is going to be the other foot, I think. Thank you, Sandy. Has anybody in chat put together a Lego set recently? Quite the reflection off the lights over there, doesn't he? Did the Lego Executor model. Is that the... I mean, is that the Star Destroyer? Which one's that? Started a new knitting project. I mean, it's not the same as Lego, but it's got that sort of like maker mentality for sure. You helped your nephew at Christmas. It was a helicopter. Nice. Lego vehicles that have moving parts are always fun. I could have picked a different color vinyl. I didn't realize how close it was going to be to a dark gray Lego. Sometimes with little pieces, it's hard to see them. I was out with the guys last night at a local pub, something we do once a month, and we were talking about some of the old 80s cartoons and some of the stuff that I've seen lately on social media with AI taking old animated cartoons and then transforming the characters into what they might look like in real life, you know, or like a realistic CG character instead of a hand drawn one. One of the cooler series that they did was Thundercats, and that was a cool look at like what some of these characters might look like as people. Sometimes it wasn't, it was not successful. They weren't, the AI did not know what to do with, I think his name is Panther, I think, because he was very blue and he came out looking kind of like a lizard, which didn't really work. I don't remember the names of the twins, but they looked cool. Lionel looked alright. Chitara looked fine. Even Mumra looked fine. I've seen some He-Man stuff, and man, sometimes the AI goes grotesque with some of the He-Man stuff. Like Crapjaw looked like a horror movie monster. I mean, in a cool way. It was terrifying, but awesome at the same time. I feel like this isn't that straight. Oh no, we're doing okay. So over the Steam sale, I picked up Sprite, which is a pixel art software program, and I think I might start trying to do some pixel art for stuff live on stream. I don't know whether it's going to be stuff like sub badges or whether I'm going to try textures for Minecraft or something, but I want to try to do something. I don't know when that's going to happen, but that's one of the things I thought. Cool. Traditionally, I do the avatars, or not avatars, but like the emotes or the sub badges in something like Photoshop, or I've had to cancel my Photoshop subscription and go with Affinity Photo, and I don't really know if I enjoy that as an art program. Krita is a program that I have now as well, but I'm not familiar enough with them. I don't know how great it would be as an experience for streaming online, because half of it I'm sure would be me fumbling around the program trying to figure out how to use it. I mean, I could obviously do some research ahead of time, but I not figuring out how to use it, but I guess finding my workflow where I would be so used to Photoshop over the years. Let's see if we can fill some of this in. I've often wondered whether it would be beneficial to have some sort of printed mat that has lines on it. I know you can get like those green cutting mats, but they often have like a lot of different things on them. I just thought like a pixel grid would be interesting for laying out Lego pieces. Off to work, Eclipse. Have a great day. Cheers. Thanks for being here. Stream must have started at an early time for you. Wow. I would say that's a more successful knolling run than the first time. Definitely felt out of sorts last time. It was page 10. Oh no, that was the first one. Back to page 17. Yeah, back when I was doing more work as an artist, I thought it would be really cool to go through and redesign some of my favorite 80s characters. Because I often found that some studio would redo something like Thundercats or He-Man and really get it wrong. Like, I really disliked the Kevin Smith He-Man Netflix cartoon. And to this day, I still don't know how much of that was Kevin Smith and how much of that was Netflix getting a spoon in the pot and ruining things. There's a He-Man live action movie being filmed right now. And the only person that I recognize in it, I think, is Monica Baccarin. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. From Firefly and Deadpool. I believe she's playing the sorceress. And then maybe, I can't remember her name. I think one of the actresses from Top Gun Maverick is in it as well. I think she's playing Tila. She's been in other stuff too, and I like her quite a bit. Oops. I don't know what this is used for other than just visual stuff. Yeah, I guess it's just meant to be something on the outside. No, maybe. No, I guess it's just meant to be. It's probably Some sort of connector for when he transforms to like to keep his feet together. This piece here. It also just looks cool. Does anybody have Lego on their wish list? Any particular set that you're looking to get? I've got my wish list on the Discord. It's been updated, obviously. When I bought Bumblebee, I made sure that the list was updated. There's a couple of other Transformer sets that are really cute. They're the Lego Brickheads ones. And it's Bumblebee is in a car and then Optimus Prime in a truck. But they're just like 2 inches tall. Like these guys. They're like those. Whoops. You have other hobbies that overflow my wish list? Nice. Yeah. So Sandy was knitting. Silvery, what are your other hobbies? What I've been slowly, and I mean emphasis on slowly, learning how to play guitar. Acoustic guitar. There's something about these smooth sloped pieces that really add like a finish to Lego that I like. Brayer horses? So you ride horses? That's cool. It's been probably 30 years since I've been on a horse, maybe longer. And even then it was just like vacation tourist trail ride situation. No real instruction. Just sort of like, here, sit here and hold on. Oh, sorry to hear that, Silvery. Oh, Brayers are models. Oh, like, so model horses. Oh, cool. So do you like paint them and stuff like miniatures? always find it hard to get these little 1x1 plates for tiles. Right? I mean, plates as well. You collect the original finish and customs. An artist resin small runs. Oh, neat. Brayerfest was the last weekend in Kentucky and is an annual huge hobby gathering. That sounds awesome. Very cool, Silvery. And Sir Sky Chaser. Your daughter is into Brayer horses and she has like 50. Wow. I used to get into collecting stuff. Like I was collecting comics and I was collecting Transformers, like the toys for a bit, but that stopped just because it just felt weird having them on display. And now I guess you could say that I collect Lego. I mean, Lego is kind of like a hobby, but like just like all of my hobbies, I seem to have folded them all into work. So, I mean, I still very much enjoy this and think about it as a hobby, but it does get folded into the content creation thing. But Lego seems to be a lot easier these days for some models to be displayed in a situation that I feel like they're kind of useful for. Like example, in some cases, their nerdy stuff makes really good background studio things for my shots for camera for the spawn chunks for the stream, because I've got like a TIE fighter on my computer. I've got the piranha plant from Mario that sits behind me on my desk when I'm streaming Minecraft, like stuff like that. But then I've got other stuff that is way more subtle. So I've got like it's a Polaroid camera that I built, the retro radio, the lighthouse. I mean, the X-Wing is in my living room too, but like there's some stuff in the living room that you would not realize that it was necessarily Lego, or it fits in with what you're doing. Like I've got some of the Star Wars helmets that I've built on my bookshelf next to my sci-fi books, which tracks, you know, kind of makes sense. But it's definitely an acquired design choice. I mean, I bought my mom the lily from the botanicals collection a couple of years ago for Mother's Day, and she cursed me while she was putting it together because she found it challenging. But once she was finished, she was really happy with it. It's in her living room, and you don't really necessarily think that you know a boomer is going to have Lego on display in the living room with all of the other very kind of like what you would expect kind of furniture and decor. Your last count was over 700. You have 700 Brayer horses, Silvery? That's awesome. That's like, there's some years and dedication and passion behind that. 700, wow. It's funny how time just passes when you're really into something like that. Like, I was thinking about this the other day on stream, talking about how many hours I've put into West Hill. You know, like, yes, it's turned into part of my job, but when I first started, it was, you know, only weekends. It was only Friday, Saturday that I could actually stream. It's only been the last couple of years that I've been able to do Monday to Tuesday to Saturday. I'm just realizing that there's more to his feet than what we're doing. I think there's even like a base plate beyond what we've got, because he's got a bumper that we have not yet put on. Again, I think this is one of the cooler connections. Awesome that that lines up. They've definitely got some 3/4 pieces or 2/3 pieces that they've put into circulation that really helps with builds like this. Yeah, throw a pic up on social media, Silvery. Feel free to tag me if you want. I'm sure that Sir Sky Chaser would probably enjoy seeing that. Share it with their daughter. It's funny, like in all the nerdy circles that I travel in, I know about like miniatures and painting miniatures for tabletop games and Warhammer and stuff, but I've never really considered like horse collectibles. But I guess there's probably a collectible for everything, right? Like every interest, every passion. One of the guys last night, my buddy Peyton, he's an animator, and he was talking about a friend that works on or has worked on the My Little Ponies cartoon and how that has rekindled as like a huge collector space now with the modern ponies. I mean, I say, talk about having a fortune in Freya horses. I mean, it's not a fortune, but there's a sizable amount of, financial investment in the Lego that I've got around now. But when you've been doing it for years, it kind of it adds up pretty quick. I'm not sure how often I buy Lego. It's like maybe 3 times a year, 4 times a year. I guess it depends, because sometimes like the retro radio was a gift. That was a birthday gift from Cosmic Dancer. Yeah, this is not, I don't know how meant to connect this really is. I don't feel like that's the best. Yeah, that 100% does not fit on there. How did the other one? Oh, because I absolutely bent the plastic. That's how. All right then. Yeah, that's not happening on this one. That other piece was just big enough. This is much smaller. That's a little frustrating. I prefer true connections with Lego. Because this is the kind of thing that just falls off constantly. You're not careful. Aha, so it was right. The 2 pieces connect together, and the grippy piece there goes inside that piece there and that piece there, so that when you stick them together, they do this. So it keeps it sturdy as the front of the car, and then when you want to separate his legs, they'll just pop out. That's cool. So you can sort of see the scale, right? There's the wheel hubs of the Volkswagen Bug, the headlights, secondary lights. Very cool. Yeah, this is going to be a fun build. Stuck a comment in the post. Great, that's even better, Silvery. Thank you. I'll toss that in the Discord for people. Right on. So bag 3 is going to be next week. Looks like we're going to start the legs, which makes sense. I know it's a bit of a shorter stream today, but that's because it's the LEGO Let's Chat, and I tend to pace these things out. We'll probably end up doing about 2 bags a week, so we'll be here for 3 or 4 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks maybe, depending on how things come together and what kind of time I have. So I do actually need to take the rest of the day and take advantage and get some other work done. So we'll be back tomorrow with Minecraft, 1 o'clock Atlantic. So the Saturday streams, again, are still at 1 p.m. That's 12 noon Eastern in the US, if that's where you're hanging your hat, or where you can do the math on your time zone from. I do give a heads up in my Discord when I go live. So if the Twitch notifications are not working for you, then you can always jump in the Discord. Go to patreon.com/JoelDuggan to do that. It's only $2 a month, less than a cup of coffee, and it does a great deal to help me continue to stream on a regular basis. And also helps me with picking up cool stuff like Lego for the stream to keep things interesting and different. The Lego stream happens as often as I have Lego. It's not every Friday, but we try to keep it up as best we can. During the week and on the weekends right now, I'm focusing on Minecraft because we're very, very close to finishing up the West Hill build on the Citadel server. Citadel server just hit 8 years, and the West Hill build just passed 4.5 years. So I'm hoping to wrap that up this month, actually. We have a patron server that's coming online in August. We're refreshing an existing server and renewing it and starting over. It's going to be a vanilla server for people that support me on Patreon at a certain level. So you can look into that if that's something that sounds appealing to you. Feel free to ask any questions. If you're in the Discord and you're curious about the Patreon server, then shoot me a DM or toss it in the Minecraft channel, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. And I will be back on Saturday, like I said, for Minecraft, and next thing after that is going to be the Spawn Chunks podcast on Monday, and that's broadcast live in our Discord, the Spawn Chunks Discord, and then, of course, I send it out on social media when it's done. Thanks so much, folks. Thanks for the support, and thanks for the moderation, Sandy. Appreciate it, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.